Trish, thank you so much for that beautiful walk around your garden. I'm sure everybody really got something out of that and inspiration, ideas, and just a bit more of a sense of where you are and what you do in your garden. Which brings us to essence making, because you did touch on that during our little walk around. And I am somebody who purchases Mermaids Gardens things. And so I just wanted you to share with us the process of making flower essences, and also just the things that you do connected with art as well, because I know that you're a fantastic photographer and you also have a deck out of your photographs of your flowers and different things. So if you could just firstly probably tell us a little bit more about your essences.
Okay, well firstly about the essences. As I've said before, a lot of the plants are grown here in the garden. They all have their own doctrine and signatures, so I can actually talk about the doctrine and signatures from the time a plant was planted, because I know the energy of that plant right through all its life cycles, through its hardships, what it's had to go through to bloom, the frequency of how often it flowers, and all those things play a part in a doctrine of signatures, for instance, that go towards the metaphysical properties and the healing properties of a flower. So some of these here are favourites. There's alchemy, which was a strelitzia flower. It's all about creativity. There's whale song, which I make every single year and have since 2006. We go to the ocean, to Longreef, and we actually watch the whales go past, and we make the essence that way. And each year it has a different energy according to the whale's journey and what the whales are doing on their migration north. Starshine, which is beautiful Elsie that Sherilyn's going to be growing in her garden as well, is all about the DNA that we carry in ourselves from our ancestors. And the doctrine of signatures for that one is all about cutting cords. So if something your parents do, a trait for example, that maybe your parents do, that may be passed down to a child, so Starshine helps to disconnect. So the child isn't bringing on the parents' lesson to learn, they can actually learn their own lesson.
So we talk about the doctrine of signatures a lot, and I know you and I, it's something
we
that
do.
we know what
I
we're talking about, but I
explain
think a
that,
lot of people, and it does connect in what flowers actually mean and how the essences are made. So can you just explain what the doctrine of signatures means a little bit?
The doctrine of signatures can be, let me see, the number of petals on a plant, its location, how many flowers are growing. These little ones here, for example, they grow as one or two flowers. Okay, they don't grow singularly. So you'd think of that when you're actually making the essence. You also look at if there's a nature spirit involved. These little guys here are my fairy card in the deck, for example, because they look like a fairy reaching out with their arms outstretched and bursting with life and happiness and joy. So they're beautiful little flowers.
So it's sort of the way they resemble things as well.
What their message is and what they want to speak to you about, what they want to help you with your journey with. So it's quite a simple process, the doctrine of signatures. It's just a term that's used to help explain them. It makes it a little bit easier for people to do courses and things. So
that's it. And where did you start making? How did you get involved with making essences? Because I know we know your journey about your garden and how you started off. But how was it?
I actually made my first essences when I was a little girl in this very garden. I think it was my Phoenix rising tree out the front, which is my gum blossom. And it only flowers occasionally. And I used to pick the beautiful gum blossoms and put them in glasses of water and drink the water. So that to me was quite a natural process. And it wasn't until, Bush Flower Essences course back in about 2006, maybe in 2005. It's been so long, it just feels like second nature now. And I studied Bush Flower Essences and also the white light and the light frequency. So I've done all the Bush Flower Essence courses, and now I've gone to teach at Nature Care. So I've been doing it for quite some time. So.
And you also teach at Creative Witchery.
And I do teach at Creative Witchery, yes I do.
That's right.
So I actually teach an introduction of how to make essences at Creative Witchery. So if you're interested in creating your own, we can show you how you do this. They're for your own personal use, I must stress though. So
that's it. So anybody can make essences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. I get asked a lot about that one, is can I actually do it? And can you just sort of touch on that a little bit with everybody?
Yeah,
it's not...
it's a simple process. I've got one here sitting here just to show you. And it basically is a bowl of water. In this case, I've actually got a crystal in here because it's the particular crystal is part of the energy of this one. I've already made this essence up, so I'm just using this as a demonstration. So I am actually going to put my hand in there and remove it, just so I can show you. But this beautiful flower is actually an orchid, and he's a very special orchid. He only flowers through the bottom of a basket, a hanging basket, so he hangs down like this. And he only flowers on Christmas night, and I get 7 to 12 flowers a year, if I'm lucky. He's the winged serpent, so I thought to go with him, I would actually use my dragon, which was gifted to me for Christmas by a lovely lady of Crystal Utopia. And I absolutely adore him. So the energy of these two together is, it's one of pushing through barriers, of getting the Kundalini energy going. And it's as simple as basically to create an essence, make sure you've got nice pure water handy. And you put your flower in, not by hand, but you place your flower in the bowl. And
there is a process.
There is a process, which is what I'm showing you. If you want to know that, you have to come to the course. But basically, you would either put crystals around it or in the bowl. So it really does depend on what you're creating at the time. But basically, it's the infusion of the flower into the water, and that is the essence. So, and that's in a nutshell.
That's a very
real minute nutshell.
But her essences are absolutely beautiful, and they're flower essences, crystal essences, as well as essences of place.
Yes, this is one here, 7 for example, made by the beach on the 19th of May in 2012. No, sorry, 2011, sorry. And it's about connecting with the Pleiadian guides. So it's a really powerful.
And what do you use the essences, what can people use essences for as well?
They can use them for pushing through emotional blocks, or they might find that they want to manifest something. That's what we use alchemy for example. So it's
I love alchemy.
Setting your intentions. Yes, I know. Alchemy is Sherilyn's favourite.
It is.
And it's quite ironic. That's the one I think you first bought too.
It is the one. That's when I first met you, I think.
It was.
Yes,
It was.
many years ago.
Alchemy is all about your creativity, but also manifesting what you want out of life. Blue Moon, for example, in the mist is all about intention setting. So it depends on what you choose to use that for. So it's all about setting your intent. You can use them for ritual, but you can also use them just on an everyday basis, just 7 drops
as
in
a
water.
healing and balancing. I often, people talk about them as healers, and I know that they are healers, but we mostly, when we talk healing, we talk about balancing, bringing things into balance.
Emotional, the spiritual and physical.
Exactly, so that then you can your body and your emotional self can then heal. So they're not like little magic pills in bottles.
Definitely not.
No, they're about bringing you into balance.
Yep.
And it's wonderful to sort of touch on.
It is. And if your intention's not in it and you just go, I'm just going to use this and it's going to fix everything, it won't work. It's like Reiki. It has to be accepted. So, you have to be prepared to accept the energy that the flowers are giving via the essence for it to work. So.
And it's a wonderful thing if we're interested in flowers as well, in connecting more with the energy of the flowers. You really get to understand the energetic qualities of the flowers.